Alright, while Julie's working on painting the doors, I'm going to go ahead and start on the ceiling in the shower. As you can see, it's not done. We did put some putty over the screw holes, but other than that, that's about all that was done in this room. So I have a big gap over here. I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of drywall in there and go ahead and get this puttied up, because I want to get the ceiling painted so we can put the light in the ceiling. That way we can see in here to do the tile work. So I just got to get this little strip into place. I went through all the garbage over there and found some strips. Okay, we'll go ahead and tape that seam and putty that up. We did get the ceiling all painted up, and we're going to do one more coat on there, and then we'll be able to put that light in. Okay, we're going to start cutting the concrete board for the inside of the shower, and we're just going to take our time and cut it to fit. And I'm going to be doing this in the garage because we don't want all the dust in here. Julie's painting. So let's get out to the garage and we'll get this first piece here on the bottom cut. Okay, we're gonna get ready to cut our backer board for our shower, and I went and picked up a blade just for that backer board. Supposed to cut it nice and not make as much dust. As you can see, it only has 4 teeth on it. Pretty cool blade. Supposed to cut really nice. We're gonna find out. Let me get it put on my saw. Okay, we're gonna be using an N95 mask to cut this stuff because it's not good to breathe it. So we're going to go ahead and see how this blade cuts. I have to say that blade cuts like butter. Really nice. Beautiful straight cut. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and get this over to the shower and get it put in. Alright, I've already taken a damp rag earlier and I cleaned this crack down here. I wiped it out. I'm going to make sure that it's still clean. I'm just going to wipe it out. That's pretty much a dry rag. Now, it's kind of hard to videotape this, and to be honest with you, I may be doing it wrong. I don't know. I'm just doing it the way I think it should be done. And I'm going to take some 100% silicone, and we're going to put a small strip underneath of this board where it sets. So I'm not going to try to get it out where we're going to use the red guard. We're just going to try to get it back in this corner, and we're going to go right along this edge. And I'm gonna fill that corner up nice. That way this thing will have something to set it back against. And hopefully it will seal it up tight against that board. Now, like I said, this may not be the way you want to do it. This is just the way I'm doing it. Anything that comes outside that board, I'll clean up with a wet rag, damp rag. And like I said, somebody else might know a better way or an easier way. This is just the way I had it planned to do to make sure nothing gets underneath of that board. And I will continue to seal every single board that I put in just like that. That is a very tight fit. So we're going to grab our screws. And I have the regular screws for the backer board. These are 1.25 inches. We don't want anything longer than that because we know we have wires, but well, not underneath this. So we're going to go ahead and screw this board up. Putting the screw about every foot. That's the way we're going to put that backer board up right there. We're going to continue working our way around. All right, well, I've been working in the shower. Julie's been working on cutting that doorway out. And it sure does look a lot better, honey. Yeah. And I got
it's not perfect.
Some of the shower done. I got that whole back wall, and I got this wall over here done. Now I did do silicone and every seam back in here. Silicone, whatever you all want to call it.
Yeah, we know we'll get some beef about it.
Somebody will be yelling at me. So I put sealer back in there, if you want to call it that. And what I'll do is I'm cleaning up all what's coming out, and I will scuff that off with, you know, like you see it's a little shiny right in here. You can see a little spot might be shiny. I'll scuff all that off with one of them sanders like we did on the drywall to make sure that my red guard gets a good adhesive. You know, it sticks real good. So I got 2 walls done, and I'm just about done, I think, for the day. We got a few things done, and we're just taking our time, getting it little by little, and we just keep gnawing it down until we get it done. So I think we're gonna go get something to eat and call it a day. Oh, I get to show you guys the paint. This is the room, this is the color Julie wants to put in this room. Now she put a darker color here and she covered over it, but it's basically gonna be that color there. That'll get rid of some white. Alright, so I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, last night Julie and I worked on the backer board in here, and we have it all on now, and it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go around and clean this all up, because I used that silicone in there, and I want to make sure all that's scraped off of there, and then we'll scuff over that with a little bit of sandpaper just to make sure that doesn't have an effect on the coating we put over top of that. Now I don't know absolutely nothing about doing a shower, but I do know one thing. Everybody and their brother on YouTube has a different way of doing these. And no, I don't know that any of them are the same. So I'm no different. You know, what I do is probably not going to be the same as them. So I'm going to be working on that shower for a while. And just like I said, I'm going to get this all cleaned up. I want to make sure all my screws are a little bit below the surface maybe, and then clean up all that stuff on the walls and wipe them down. We'll see how this goes. I am going to be using a red guard membrane on the walls. Turn some lights on here. I have a red guard. That's what I'm going to use on mine. And like I said, everybody has their own way of doing the showers. And then I have rolls of this stuff. This is a fiber. It's made by Red Guard 2. We'll be using that on our corners and around our floor. Hopefully this works out and we don't have no leaks. So I need to get to work. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just go around and fill my screws. And I don't think you have to countersink these, but I'm not gonna really countersink them. I'm just gonna get them to where they're flush with the surface. Now once I got all my screws down below the surface a little bit, I'm just going to come through and just scuff that little bit of stuff there that was on the outside off. And I'll do that to every one of them. Now, I don't know if you have to do this. I'm not saying you do, that's just what I'm doing. Just going to take that and clean that up. Once I get all that cleaned up, I'm going to work on the seams too. Anywhere in the seam where that silicone might have come through, what I'll do is I'll take my sandpaper and I'll clean that up real good. If anything needs scraped off, I'll scrape it off. But I'm going to make sure I have a good surface to work with. I don't want that silicone or silicone, whatever you guys call it. I don't want it to affect what I put in that corner, that red bond, or the, of course, I think I'm going to use a quick set in the corner with some mesh, and then I might use a fiber. I'm not sure. We'll see. Haven't figured it out. We're just going with the flow here. All right, I have all my seams cleaned up and sanded, and then I cleaned all the screws, around all the screws, so the fibers ain't sticking out. So I had a question and I couldn't figure it out, is which side of the backer board goes in and which side goes out. Now it has all you ever want to know about that backer board right there on that one piece, right there. But it doesn't tell you which side goes in, which side goes out. So I took it for granted that it didn't matter. Now, I could be wrong, but so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a damp rag and I'm going to wipe all them walls down with a damp rag. Clean them all up. Alright, now I'm putting one corner in, and I wanted to do this not on camera because I'm not sure what I'm doing, if it's right or wrong. But I do know this much, it's turning out very nice. So what I did is I took some of this thin set. We got this, we put it on the wall first, down the corner, just like we would drywall putty. And we put the mesh in there, and I'm doing another coat on top of it. Then running my corner trowel down it just like I would drywall, and it seems to be working out really, really well. So I'm going to get going here, and I will show you all the stuff everything that we use to do this corner. But right now, I'm just a little bit busy trying to get this done. I don't know how long this stuff takes to dry. I have no clue. So we're just doing our best what we have. Now don't forget, I put silicone in every one of these cracks before we did anything, and then we cleaned all that silicone, anything that squeezed out, we cleaned it off and sanded it down to make sure it wouldn't interfere with what we're putting up here now. Because this is really starting to look good. So I thought maybe I'd get you in here. You can see my mesh. The mesh, we put the first coat on there and then we put the mesh on there. So you can see it's turning out really nice. So I think I gotta get going here. All right, what Julie's doing is she's putting the mesh, the fiber mesh down in the corner there. She's gonna work her way all the way to the bottom. I put a thin coat of the, is that thin set? Mm-hmm. I put a thin coat of that on there. And now she's pushing it down in that. And then I'll come back through and put a coat of that thin set over top of that. All right, so we have all of our seams done. The corners are all done, all the way around. Clear up there too, and then down. So we have that all done, and I'm gonna show you what we used right here. That is thin set. So we used that, and we put a thin coat of that down, then we put our fiber mesh down, and then we put a thin coat of this over top of it. And now we're gonna give it a day or so and let it set up. And then we'll start our next step. It's been drying overnight. So I come in and cleaned this floor, scraped it with a putty knife, took the drain out of the center, and vacuumed it real good and swept it. And we're getting ready to clean this floor. Now here's what we're using to clean it. We have this Rust-Oleum. It's a clean and etch. And to be honest with you, I think it's just muriatic acid. I don't think it's any more than that. So I think muriatic acid would have been fine. Okay, I'm just doing the shower the same way we did the inside of the laundry room. Trying to be a little bit easier with this stuff. I know we're gonna have to rinse this thing a lot. So we're gonna do this exactly like over there. We're gonna scrub it, rinse it, scrub it, rinse it, scrub it, until we have it all good to go here. This will get the red guard. The stuff Julie will be using in the laundry room is called
Granite Grip.
Granite Grip. Okay. So just scrub that down real good, and then we'll get the rinsing. And hopefully we got it good enough that our red guard will stick down to it.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure other people don't use this stuff.
Who knows?
You know, they probably just...
Okay, I think that's about it.
Alright.
We'll go ahead and get the rinsing.